How we doing? Just wanted to start out by extending condolences. Richard Miller and his wife Sharon are going through a tough time with their family right now, and just wanted to send condolences to them on a tremendous loss. Richard has been with the organization for over 30 years, primarily as our cap guy, but does a lot of research for us. He's a tremendous asset for myself and the whole staff, and just wanted to keep them in our prayers. So, with that, any questions?
Always a tough transition from that, Eliot. Transactionally, anything we should be aware of entering today's practice coming out of the game?
Yeah, unfortunately, Isaiah Aiton had the hip injury. He's going to go on injury reserve, and we're signing Phil Lutz. Phil played wide receiver at Delaware and at Tufts before that. He was here for both our local day and our rookie mini camp. He's a guy that showed well on both, and we've been keeping in touch with him should the opportunity arise, and had a little light workout, make sure he's in shape this morning, and he'll be out here today.
We all know that you're going to be very busy the next couple of weeks scouring waiver wires. There's a couple big names available trade-wise. Would you be willing to swing a big trade at this point in the season where the calendar is?
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking to all 31 other teams and trying to do what's best for us. And if something presents itself, I think those things are often a lot more complicated than the fans and some others like to make it believe. But if there's something that we think can help us, we'll definitely be open to it.
Eliot, after the draft, you told us sort of about a spirited disagreement in the war room that ended up resolving itself because another team took one of the players. But now, if a similar situation arises, both players would be under your control. How do you anticipate sort of resolving that type of debate at this time of year?
Yeah, I think the same way. Just productive dialogue. If it resorts to watching film as a group, that's something that Mike and I talked about yesterday, as a matter of fact. And if there ends up being something that we see differently, let's work through it. And ultimately, we both want what's best for the team. I mean, everyone does. So that's the way we'll resolve it.
Eliot, I don't think we've talked to you since you guys added Efton way back in the spring. What initially drew you guys to him, and has he pretty much lived up to expectations for you at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Efton's a guy who went to 2 All-Star games. He went to the Hula Bowl and then the East-West, and no one really guarded him at either. That's when he came on my radar a little bit, so I was able to, our scouts obviously liked him as well, but I didn't watch him until after those All-Star games, and, definitely thought he was a draftable talent. Maybe didn't have the 40-yard dash that was applicable to get him drafted, but, the game's played between the white lines, and he's been a phenomenal worker. And everyone talks about how he's an overachiever and this and that. I see that differently. I think he's got tremendous football instincts. I think he's tremendous at the top of the route, and his play strength for a shorter guy is very good. So we're excited about what he can bring to our team.
Eliot, with Trey Henderson, I'm curious, is there anything specific that when you drafted him that he's done on the field that you kind of surprised you, that you weren't sure maybe he was capable of doing, or is this kind of what you were expecting from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think, with Travion, everyone sees the speed. Everyone saw the pass protection, the ability to get outside. I've been maybe most impressed with his ability to run between the tackles. Not that he couldn't do that in college, but I think his vision and his instincts in there have been, really impressive, and he continues to improve each week.
When we talked to you in the spring, you said you had the final decision. So when you and Mike are having this conversation, and you want player X and he wants player Y, and he doesn't budge off player Y, and you don't budge off player X, is that your call to take player X?
Yeah, ultimately it would be. But again, I think we all understand where we're coming from, and that's why we'll watch film together. We'll take the position coaches and coordinators and Ryan and Alonzo and the pro department, and we'll take everybody's stock and see and make sure what we do is best for the team.
Obviously it's early, but the returns on this rookie class have been positive so far and better than last year's. Is there something that you look back on that went differently or better in this year's draft?
I think maybe just the vision for what we wanted as players. And I think, again, we'll see what happens here. But, like you said, it's been positive through 2 preseason games. Obviously, those don't count. So we'll see how they do moving forward.
There's still a role on the team for Kyle Duggar, and how do you see his sort of situation playing out here?
Yeah, I think there's still a role. It's about trying to find the right combination and earn a role. And some of the safety position is a lot based on communication. And so, getting Craig, who's a rookie out there with different combinations of people, is kind of something that we're looking at as well.
How clear do you think your vision, or clearer is your vision as a group now that you've been together for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's developing. But, since February, I think I said this the other day, like one of the best things about working with Mike is we have the same vision. and it's ultimately his vision. But we believe in a lot of the same things as far as treating people right, working hard, effort, toughness, and finish. I mean, those are all things that he espouses that I also believe in. So it's been good in that way.
Near the top of the league in available cap space. Should we view that in any way as indicative as to where you guys view this organization and its ability to contend this year?
I'm not sure I follow.
A lot of available cap space. Usually, teams that are near the top of the league don't have that. Are you saving for next year? Is this a big picture view that you're taking? Are you?
I mean, it's a big picture view. Also, we have the quarterback on a rookie contract, and I certainly think we spent a lot of money in free agency this year. So I don't think it's indicative of where we think we are as a team. Again, like Mike said yesterday, this is our year one of this program, and we're hopeful moving forward that we can make some progress this year.
What have you seen out of Stefon Diggs, and how do you feel about the receiver unit as a whole? You guys have enough, do you think?
Yes, Stefon has been he's done everything we've asked. He's been attentive in meetings. He's been good on the field. He had 2 really good practices in Minnesota. He's like ahead of schedule injury wise, and then the group I think is nice. I think we have some pieces that complement each other. And I'm excited to kind of see how Josh and the offense employ those guys, and the ball distribution of Drake. So
Drake kind of stood out last season. I'm just curious, what did you think was like that jump into last year, and how do you feel like he can contribute in this offense this year?
Yeah, Kayshawn's someone that I know personally. I'm very proud of. He came in, had some success earlier in college. Maybe his last year in college wasn't what he'd hoped it would be. Didn't do a ton his rookie year. Had some production last year, but left some plays on the field as well. And he's really bought in. I think Todd Downing's done a tremendous job developing a relationship with Kayshawn. And really, I just can't speak enough about what Kayshawn has done. He can play all 3 positions. He blocks. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's strong. And he's really becoming a pro here in year 3. And we're excited about where he can go.
How would you describe Will Campbell's camp so far?
Will's been solid. He's getting better every day. I thought Grenard got him a couple times in that second practice against Minnesota, and Grenard's a really good player. So I think that was a really good learning experience for Will to kind of understand in pass sets that he can't maybe try the same thing each time. But we're excited about what he can do. His play style is phenomenal, and he's only getting better each day.
Last question, guys.
Would you be willing to give up in a trade a second or maybe even a first-round pick to make your team better this year?
Sure. Yep. Just doing what's best for the team. If there's a player out there that we feel like can help us, then, and it costs that, then we would consider doing that.
Thank you, Eliot.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.